Bianca with Leaders in Business Podcast, where CEOs and executives in the digital marketing and social media space share their best advice. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know what they're talking about. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, so I'm Brandon Mulcahy, and I'm the CEO and founder of Adelboden Capital and Consulting. We do three things. We do startups from ground up. We buy out businesses and flip them. And then we also help people. It's kind of one of memories is if everything left today, if every bad thing happened today, and we lost all our companies, there's going to be a lot of memories that we can look back on, and there's going to be a lot of people who, because they've been part of our organization. And so that's one of our core values, is to build memories for people. And so us, is just about seeing transformation and seeing growth in our individuals and our organization, not only our customers, but our employees, our leadership team. And that's probably what we consider the best thing about leading my business, at least.
Well, that's totally impressive. So I hear from others that it can be challenging to grow your business today with everything that is going on. So what are the biggest challenges you see business leaders facing today?
I think the biggest challenge is they're running into a capacity, like they can't produce more capacity. And they can't produce more capacity because human capital and people are just, it's harder to find them. 10 years ago, it was really hard to find a job. You had to fill out the paper application. You had to actually physically go in there and submit it. Well, today with technology, I can submit 100 applications in a matter of 10 minutes through, technology like Indeed and Monster and all those. So it's really easy to submit. So we're playing this tug of war battle with people, and you're seeing people jump ship for 10 cents more, 20 cents more. It's like small, minute salary changes, but it's important to them. And so I think the biggest challenge is your culture. Like for us, we fight every day to keep our employees happy and our culture there, because I think if you lose it, that's the challenge, that it just crushes you because you can't keep up and you can't grow and you can't scale. It all comes down to that inability to find good, talented people that want to work with you, not just for 1 year, but for 10, 20 years.
Absolutely. So what is your best advice, or what is the best advice that you can give to other business leaders about creating a successful business?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to, we kind of talked earlier just about your marketing plan. And I think when you look at a lot of business owners, especially the people we consult with and our customers and our clients, that they started this business, let's just take any number. They all start a business because they're talented at one thing. And so they can start doing it. But what most people don't realize is, like, you have to have a good mix of, you have to have a good marketing mix. You've got to be able to sell what you're marketing to. You have to have the people to put out, you either produce or go out and service whatever it is you've sold to your customer. And I think that comes back down to creating that customer experience. So like when we talk about marketing plans to our clients, we always talk about first, what is the experience? Before you can put together places to talk about your experience, you can actually create an experience. And so we try to help business owners realize, like, the first thing you need to do really is create that customer experience. What is it? And so for like one of us, we have a custom home building company, and we've added in 5 or 6 different points that our competitors don't do. So we add in a groundbreaking with a champagne toast, which, I'll come back to that because that's interesting. So we come out, we pop some champagne, you dig some dirt, you put it in a mason jar, and it's something you get to hold on to. When we go back to memories for our customers, that's something special because this is your home. This is where it came from. The next thing is just like the communication, having technology for our customer. So like then they get to know how they're going to communicate with us, and they get to know they'll be able to watch the project. We do a few other things along the lines that that put together their whole experience. And so when you're really looking at it, we're not selling them the custom home, we're selling them the experience. And so where does that come in with your marketing? Okay, so when you're looking at social media, if you and your friends see one of your other friends having a champagne toast and seeing like their house being broken in and seeing a celebration happening, like immediately it triggers something in your mind, like, well, it's that kind of not really envy, but that I wish I had that too. That wasn't the experience I had when I built my home. And so now all of a sudden you start to create a brand where people see like stuff happening, the experience happening on social media. And so that's kind of like just one part of our marketing plan is, first you have to create the experience, and then you have to market that experience out there. And and this is where we see a lot of business owners really struggle is they right now there's probably 10 or 12 really mainstream marketing tactics out there. There's probably way more, but let's say there's 10 or 12 that really kind of make a difference. Well, they'll try one and it doesn't work and they give up, and they'll try another and it doesn't work and they give up, and they'll try another and it doesn't work and they give up. And really what they have to do is learn to, you've got your experience, now you have to do not just one, you have to do 5 of them. Pick 5 and you have to stick with them. For us in our marketing plans, they're all well-rounded. So we have our SEO, which comprises of keeping our websites updated, keeping our Google reviews coming in, making sure so that we rank in that first page on Google, no matter what. We always make sure like that's a thing. The second one is we do PPC. And I know a lot of people have differing opinions about paid pay-per-click advertising, but it's one of those things, it's necessary. And and because most business owners don't want to play the game there, you can easily win that game. We're ranked number 1 in our companies across the board because we just pay. We understand its value, and we understand that you're going to set it and forget it, and just kind of monitor it, make sure that it's performing the way it should. But then you have other things like your networking, and you're making sure your brand awareness with YouTube ads or Hulu ads and that OTT over the top. And so when you're putting those marketing plans together, the first thing you really got to do is create that experience. And then the second thing is decide what avenues are going to be the best for delivering that experience to show potential clients what it's like to go through that. And so that's kind of how we put our marketing plans together.
Absolutely. You presented everything about into marketing and all on how you do your work. So, what other successful business leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge and should be on the podcast?
So there is one. He is probably the best. His name's Rob Renz. You can find him on LinkedIn, and I am a future customer of his. We're working on a deal. But Rob, I've been watching him for about a year, is great at creating videos for LinkedIn, and he sells insurance, and like that's what he does. But he's created this whole video series on just the different aspects of insurance, different aspects of business growth, and I think he'd be a great leader to have on here for you.
Awesome. I will look them up. So now for the final fun question. Who is the most interesting person to follow on social media and why?
So he's probably the one I follow a lot. He's kind of, maybe he's cliche because he's got millions and millions of followers, but Joe Rogan, I feel like, is probably the most powerful person on social media. And I feel like, one, he's great. He's a great marketer, but two, Joe is more of a fact-based interviewer. He always lets his people talk. He never gets into debates with them. He always poses great, interesting questions. I find his content very fun to learn from, and it's always unique. It's always different, things that I wouldn't go searching for on my own. So I'd have to say, if I had one person that I always follow, it's Joe Rogan.
Well, it was a pleasure having you on. So how can people find you?
So you can find us. So we have our website, adelbodencc.com, and then we are also on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Well, that's a wrap. This is Bianca with Leaders in Business Podcast. For more insights and ideas, go to our website, leadersinbusinesspodcast.com.